Will Hammock and Todd Klein back with you here on GPR. Just a reminder to join us online at GwinnettPrepRally.com, where we have the world-famous message board and video highlights. And you can also keep up with GPR on Twitter and our Facebook fan page, so be sure to give us a like. Well, the Lanier Longhorns are another upstart program in Gwinnett County, and although they are not currently playing a region schedule, the future appears to be very bright as they dominated St. Francis this past Friday night. Brian Wise has all the action from Sugar Hill.
It was senior night for the Lanier Longhorns. Longhorns with the ball, first quarter. The pitch is to Dante Borders, who gets around the right edge, finds a seam and heads down the sideline. One man to beat. Touchdown Longhorns. They lead 7-0. On the ensuing night's possession, third down, Joey Roach with the option keeper to the left side gets brought down by Jesse Landers. Later in the quarter, Taylor Grant back to pass, throws over the middle. Coming out of nowhere is Lake McClure with the interception. The Longhorn defense would step up big. Roach back to pass, but gets brought down by Anselmo Huerta. After the punt, the Longhorns with the ball. Lake McClure shoots through the middle and brings down Grant for the sack. A couple of plays later, the pitch is to Bernard Knuckles, who finds a hole on the left side for a nice pickup. Later in the drive, the give is to Knuckles again, who finds a hole up the middle into the end zone for the touchdown. Lanier rolls 41-0 over St. Francis.
Well, a nice win for Lanier to celebrate their senior night, Will, and they're going to get ready to start playing some region football. How do you think the newest program in Gwinnett County will fare when they step up to the next level?
It's going to be a huge step. I think they're probably going to be at the bottom of the region they go into. There's a kind of a learning curve when you come in at that level, and that's to be expected. But where they're at as a program right now, I think they're doing great. We're right along the line where Mountain View and Archer were. They've made great progress these past few years, and certainly I expect great things. Billy Wells is a good football coach, and there's a lot of talent up there in Lanier.
Time now to recap more football action from this past Friday night. It's brought to you by Next Star Communications, and we start off with the Archer Tigers. And you talk about a program making its mark as a young program, Will. Archer, big-time win over Parkview, puts them in playoff contention.
Yeah, I really thought Archer had a good chance to win this one. I really didn't expect it to be such a outrageous beating like it was, 40-16. Ernest Alexander, 227 yards, 4 touchdowns. Just really a dominant effort on both sides of the line by the Tigers.
Well, North Gwinnett has kind of been under the radar, Will. They will be on the front page of everybody's radar this week when they play Peachtree Ridge with the region title on the line.
Yeah, they kept rolling last week. Good win over Duluth, 44-14. That's a dangerous Duluth team if you look past them. But Donnie Miles had another good game, 96 yards. A couple of touchdowns on just 8 carries. Him and Joe Jones are a great combo in the backfield.
While North Gwinnett will be the favorite in that game, Peachtree Ridge comes in with a chance to win the region title. They got past Mill Creek. I think that one was a real stumbling block, but they were able to get past it and set up this big matchup.
Yeah, it definitely had the potential to be a trap game because Mill Creek's a very good team and really gave Peachtree Ridge all they want in this one. But Rahanton Dixon had a big game, a workhorse in this one, 21 carries, 150.
And then we moved to a team that won't be a playoff team this year, maybe in the future. Big-time statistics over there. Malachi Jones is one of those guys putting up big numbers.
Yeah, it's a good win for Central, and I think the highlight of this one, Malachi Jones, 73 catches on the season now. Holds the Gwinnett County record for catches in a season, so great job by him. And like you said, a lot of young talent on this Central Gwinnett team, so I look for a bright future out of this group.
And Will, looking at that, we'll pick the game a little bit later, the North Gwinnett-Peachtree Ridge matchup, but kind of looking for keys to the game. Obviously, I think North Gwinnett is the favorite in this. What is Peachtree Ridge going to have to do if they are to pull the upset?
They have a very balanced offense, and I think they're really going to have to move the ball on offense. Nobody's been able to do that all season on North Gwinnett, just a very stingy defense at North, really shutting people down. They really make it hard on you running the ball. So Peachtree Ridge has to have some way to establish that running game and then hopefully mix in the pass and move the ball some way against this defense.
Time now for Will's World. We put 60 seconds on the clock. We get into the mind of our very own Will Hammock. It's brought to you by Breda Pest Management. And we start off, Will, with a new way to trash talk for high school football.
Yeah, welcome to the web here. There's a lot of great videos going around and going viral. Both schools and Brookwood Grayson did it up right, I think. Very nice videos, and they did it in a classy way. Didn't talk too much trash, and it really created a lot of interest in that game, not just in their communities, like we said earlier, but throughout the world. And we're looking at GAC now, definitely a playoff threat. GAC is a talented team. They've only lost one game, and that was to Buford, and they really hung tight with Buford, a lot tighter than I thought they would. So I really think GAC can do some damage in the playoffs. It's going to be a team to be reckoned with because they're so explosive on offense. I think their defense is coming around, but that offense really makes them dangerous. And the last thing we want to look at is some of the new schools. We talked about Archer already. They're going to be a playoff team more than likely in Region 8. Obviously, Andy Dyer's done a great job over there, made great progress in just a short time. I think the same could be said for Mountain View. They beat Mill Creek this year, so it was a great win for those guys. But in every game this year, they've been in every region game pretty much. They played tooth and nail with some of the top teams in the region, so I think a lot can be said for the progress over at Mountain View as well.
Well, our special thanks to Breda Pest Management for sponsoring Will's World. And Will, one final question on those. Talk about that Archer matchup this week. They have a chance to win and go to the playoffs, or if Parkview loses, they get in. What do you think the odds are that Archer is going to be that playoff team this year? I
think it's very good. I don't think Parkview is going to beat Decula first of all, but then I think Archer's playing too well to lose to South Gwinnett. South's a dangerous team. They've had a lot of guys banged up this year, but there's still a lot of talent over there. Archer can't look past this one and start focusing on that playoff thing. They really need to take care of business, but I really think they will. I think Archer will be our playoff team.
Time now to focus on standout performances, so let's move on to this week's building blocks. They're presented by Britt's Home Furnishing, and first up is Kasey Gaines, who will probably go down in Grayson lore for this big play to beat Brookwood.
Yeah, his brother Corey made a lot of interceptions over there at Grayson, and a lot more than he has, but certainly never won this big, I don't think. Just the play of the game, it's really one that's going to be remembered for years in this Brookwood-Grayson rivalry that's become such a big rivalry. And it's going to be one of maybe the highlight play for as long as this rivalry goes on.
And then we move over to Collinsville. Will, they're going to have to keep that passing game going in the playoffs if they want to get an upset. Brett Sheehan will be the guy doing that.
Yeah, I think when they made the change to Brett Sheehan at quarterback, that really kind of changed their season around. He's taking care of the ball, not turning it over as much. He's throwing the ball well, and I think this past week against Norcross, he showed what he can do with his legs. Rushed for almost all those yards. Is 49 yards in the first half.
Then we move to Norcross, Will, and I think they're a really dangerous team in the playoffs, just like you said, and Alvin Kamara is a big reason why. I think this kid is really a little bit underrated.
Yeah, he's a game-breaking back. He can do a lot. Very elusive, very hard to tackle, and he also had an 86-yard touchdown call back in this game, so it really could have been a 200-yard day for him against a very good Collinsville defense and just a very, very good, talented player, and I look for bright things next year. He's only a junior.
Well, thanks to Britt's Home Furnishing for sponsoring this segment of Gwinnett Prep Rally. Will, we saw all those good performances. Who else played well that we should mention?
Our Defensive Player of the Week was Jermaine Morris from Archer. He had probably the most disruptive defensive game of the year so far. Had 4 sacks against Parkview, a couple of tackles for loss, knocked a couple of passes down, tipped a punt. So he was just all over the place for Archer and was one of the keys to shutting Parkview down.
Time now for Will to channel his inner Swami as we preview some key matchups on the gridiron this week. It's brought to you by Tommy Lee Carpets. We call it Beat the Post. We give you a chance to do exactly that. We start off with Buford versus Blessed Trinity for the region championship, one of these region play-in games, Will.
Yeah, I think it's going to be bad news for Blessed Trinity. Buford doesn't have a lot of interesting things to play for most weeks, but with the region title on the line, they're going to show up and mean business, and the Wolves win big.
Two teams playing out the string, Will. We have Duluth versus Mill Creek. Who wins this one?
Yeah, I think it's at Mill Creek, so I like the Hawks to pull this one off and close their season in style.
And Grayson looking to close their season in style. They play at Central Gwinnett.
Yeah, Grayson's going to keep it rolling and have a chance to go 10-0, so it's good to see, and I think they'll do it and beat Central.
Norcross locked in as the number 3 seed. Do they get upset by Mountain View, or do they keep rolling?
I think Norcross keeps rolling. They've really figured it out last week, and I think they keep it going into the playoffs.
You kind of already tipped your hand on this one. Parkview playing at Decula. Parkview really needs a win. Decula's locked into number 2. Does Decula get this win?
Yeah, Decula doesn't really have a lot to play for, but they definitely want to go into the playoffs on a good note. I think they'll show up and take care of Parkview.
And finally, the one we'll all be watching, Peachtree Ridge at North Gwinnett for the Region 7 championship. Who is the region champion?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think Peachtree Ridge has the talent to hang with North, but I really just think North Gwinnett's defense is too good and too fast. I think the Bulldogs are going to win.
Well, thank you to Tommy Lee Carpets for their continued support of Gwinnett Prep Rally. All right, we're out of time, but please join us next week for more highlights and features on Gwinnett Prep Rally every Tuesday through Friday right here on GCPS TV. Go to GwinnettPrepRally.com for all the scheduling details. For Will Hammock and all of us here at GPR, I'm Todd Klein. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you under the lights.
Grab some wood there, bub.